Hello, challengers. Congratulations on just being 3 days away from the challenge end date. You should be very proud of yourself. Hopefully by now you have started incorporating more rest, eat, move habits into your every single day. We find that when we start to kind of build these habits, then they turn into daily rituals, and daily rituals are what makes our life easy. Daily rituals are things we don't even think about doing. So over time, I've been able to make this cod liver oil part of my daily routine. I don't even know I'm taking a shot every single morning. And also, I've found that if I can make it a family affair and I can get everyone on board, then it just makes it so much easier. So I have a 1-year-old, and every morning we get up, we walk around the kitchen, I pour cod liver oil, I pour my wheatgrass, and it's become a habit of him just taking a few sips of wheatgrass, and it's totally stuck over time because we've been doing it every single day, and then we find that these habits just lead into these daily rituals. So these lifestyle habits that you're building can really help you to transition into a lifestyle that you can enjoy and maintain. So the challenge was all about challenging yourself to be better. And this could look really different to a lot of people, whether you wanted to take the challenge to 100% perfection, where you're only eating in the center of the food target, you're working out almost every single day, you're taking these rest breaks every single day. But then there's some people that just wanted to challenge themselves, and they didn't necessarily want to be perfect, but they just wanted to focus on being a little bit better. Now, I find that in this challenge, I eat pretty similar to the foods that are listed in the challenge. I eat most of those foods on a regular basis, but I wanted to challenge myself to be better. Now, I live in Chicago, and although I eat for the most part like I'm on the challenge, I also take time to indulge in my favorite restaurants. I love wine, I love cappuccinos on the weekends, and I find that eating out is part of my social life here in Chicago. So I wanted to challenge myself, and that meant that I wanted to see if I could give up coffee for 21 days straight and not eat out for 21 days straight, and just be a little bit more mindful of what I was eating, how I was working out, and being a little bit more strategic. And what I found was, it wasn't about giving anything up. It was, what can I gain out of this experience? Maybe I'm gaining more energy. Maybe I'm gaining more quality time with my family at home. Maybe I'm figuring out ways to actually cook challenge-friendly meals in my kitchen, and I'm having fun with it. Now, my dad, Chris Johnson, is probably the healthiest person I know, and his challenge to himself was giving up ketchup. He loves ketchup, and he puts it on almost everything. Well, most ketchup has sugar. So how could he challenge himself? And that was to give up his ketchup. Now, you can make your own ketchup, and that's a whole nother thing, but how can you kind of focus on challenging yourself? Now, my brother, his big challenge was helping his dog lose weight and being that support system for him. So making time to go on walks and make walks part of an activity for the family. So if you want to continue this challenge, keep on going. You can start to transition from challenge to lifestyle, which I really want to help you do today, because a 21-day challenge is great. It's a great way to start building these healthy habits, but for most people, they can't sustain it long term. So we know that perfect never wins. It's all about being better, because that's where the magic starts to happen. So if we can take these 21 days to slowly transition into a healthier lifestyle, then it's something that we can stick with and we can maintain. So a really important rule that we talk about at On Target Living to just help people identify a program that's sustainable and enjoyable is this thing called the 80-20 rule. So you can slowly work your way from the 21-day challenge to this 80-20 rule. And this is your sustainable plan for life. This is where you can live your best self, you can still see results, and you can have fun along the way. So basically 80% of the time you're eating in the center of the food target. You are working out, at least 5 days a week. You're doing some sort of movement 5 days a week, and you're incorporating maybe good quality night's sleep 5 days a week. So 80% of the time you're focusing on resting, eating, and moving the best that you can. 20% of the time you don't worry about it. And this is where sometimes life gets in the way. Maybe we have kids that are keeping us up all night. We're not getting a good quality night's sleep. Maybe we can't find time to go to the gym because we have early work meetings, and that's okay. No, life is not about being perfect. Now, when it comes to the 80-20 rule in terms of eating, it gives you 20% of the time where you can indulge a little bit. And that's about 4 meals out of the week that you can splurge without feeling guilty. But it's all about kind of planning ahead for those situations. A lot of people will say, well, I just feel so guilty when I indulge. Well, guilt comes when we overdo. But if we can plan ahead for special occasions, then there's no guilt involved. We can be mindful of how much and how often we actually have some of the things that we love, and then we can make food more of an experience. So when it comes to food and eating, we should be able to enjoy the entire process. And if we plan ahead for these special occasions, that's what makes it so special. So think about going from this challenge to the 80-20 rule, and then sticking with the 80-20 rule and keeping on building some of your habits, because that's what will help to keep you going. Now, we also have a lot of good resources now. We have a new On Target Living app. We call it the On Target Living Experience. You can download the app just on your phone, just by going to the App Store, On Target Living Experience. We have a lot of free content, but then we have a lot of exclusive content that you can subscribe, and you can get some of our flagship trainings and video content and just a lot of good stuff in there. So you can use our app as a really good resource for taking On Target Living on the go. We also have podcasts that you can subscribe to. So we're here to help you along the way. But I wanted to take a few questions. Any questions you have as far as this challenge or transitioning, into more of a lifestyle, I'm here to help guide you. So send over your questions. You can send them over in the comments section, and I'll answer them as we go. We're also going to have this recorded too, so if you have to hop off at any time, we'll share it afterwards. So what questions do you guys have? And in fact, I did get a couple emails that came in with specific questions. One question was about the spirulina chlorella. So this gentleman was taking about 20 spirulina chlorella tablets a day. He also purchased the wheatgrass pills from our store, and he had a question about whether he should be taking the actual wheatgrass ice cubes or the tablets. So personally, I love the ice cubes over the tablets. The tablets can be nice to take on the go, but typically I'll bring my spirulina chlorella tablets on the go. Because it's a really good source of chlorophyll. It's cleansing, it's energizing. I usually take 20 a day, but if I'm traveling, I'll take about 30 spirulina chlorella, because that's a good way to get in chlorophyll and just a good way to keep me healthy and my immune system strong. Now, if I'm doing wheatgrass ice cubes every day, I don't worry so much about traveling with my wheatgrass or buying wheatgrass tablets. Because a lot of this stuff will stay in your system, especially if you're doing it every single day. I find that the wheatgrass cubes are so much more beneficial because they're full of live digestive enzymes. They help with gut health. And then our wheatgrass comes from Canada. It's grown deep in the soil, so it's loaded in minerals. So you're going to get a lot more minerals from the cube itself than you would from a tablet or even wheatgrass that you find in the United States. All of that will be pasteurized. And typically it's grown on flat pods and it doesn't have the mineral source. Even when it comes to cod liver oil, if you're taking your cod liver oil every day, a tablespoon, you don't have to worry so much about supplementing with it on the road if you're just gone for a couple days. It'll still stay in your system, but we now have little travel-sized cod liver oil bottles that are less than 4 ounces, and you can take those with you on the go, and they don't have to be refrigerated if it's just a few days time frame. So I got a question that came through. What was your biggest challenge over the 21 days? What was my biggest challenge? I would say giving up my coffee. Not that I'm a super coffee addict, but I've made going out to new coffee shops on the weekends kind of a family hobby. And so we had to figure out a way to kind of replace that with something else. And we tried to replace it with just taking our son to a different play space every weekend. So there's all these play spaces in Chicago. I'm sure they're everywhere, but basically just places that you can crawl around. And instead of just sitting at a coffee shop, we were actually able to interact a little bit more with our son. So I found that probably giving up my coffee was the biggest challenge, only because over the last year, I've kind of gotten in a routine of having it more than I normally do. So after about a week or two and kind of building new habits, I really didn't miss it at all. I replaced it with, I did a lot of peppermint tea, a lot of herbal teas, which actually made me feel so much more energized. So I would say that was probably my biggest challenge. I was always still working out. I was just a little bit more intentional about it. And so I have another question that came in. One challenge for me is when I'm not really hungry for a solid dinner and just want a bowl of cereal, which turns into 3 bowls. I know this is about good preparation, but that doesn't always happen. What should I always have on hand for those lazy cravings? Yes, I hear this a lot. A lot of people don't want to take time, to prepare dinner. And typically, if we're having just simple, solid, balanced meals throughout the day, balanced meals and snack, then we're not really going to get that urge to, have a bowl of cereal or have anything that's quick on hand. We'll have energy to kind of prepare something that doesn't have to take us a long time, but prepare something that has a little bit more substance. So ideally, if you can eat every 3 to 4 hours, so you're having breakfast, maybe you're having a snack, you're having your oatmeal for breakfast or a smoothie or something healthy, then maybe you're having a snack like a banana, maybe a few almonds, and then you're having lunch, which could be a salad or leftovers. I love an afternoon snack. My favorite afternoon snack is dried mango. And then you can actually have the energy and stamina to prepare a meal at home, because getting healthier truly starts with cooking more meals at home, and it doesn't have to take you a lot of time. We have a lot of recipes in the cookbook, but I'd say things that you can have on hand. I love hummus and veggies. I love PB&J's on sprouted bread. So I get really good quality peanut butter that just has one ingredient, or I'll get cashew butter or almond butter. I'll do apple butter instead of jelly, and then I'll get a good sprouted bread. I love that just when I feel like I don't want to cook or I don't want something to prepare something in the kitchen. Another really great thing for dinner is eggs. So breakfast for dinner is one of my favorites. It's super easy. I just do over easy eggs. I'll do sprouted grain toast. I'll slice up some avocados, some tomatoes. My son loves refried beans, so I've been making him refried beans in the Instapot, and I'll have that with eggs as well. So just having things on hand, eggs, using our cookbook. Leftovers is a great thing. So sometimes you can cook once and you can eat twice. Then you don't have to prepare stuff every day. But we find that when we're going to reach for that cereal or that quick fix, it's not going to satisfy us, and it's not going to allow us to really see the results we're looking for. So although it's easy and quick, we know that we're probably going to overdo it because it's not as nourishing as a full meal. I have a question about speaking to the benefits of wheatgrass and why the wheatgrass providers do not mention these claims. Okay, so as far as wheatgrass goes, we get our wheatgrass from Canada. The reason that we get it from Canada is because in Canada, they don't have to pasteurize their wheatgrass, which means it's going to have a lot more healthful benefits. It's also grown deep in the soil, and that's where all the minerals come from. So as far as wheatgrass, it's loaded in more minerals than any other food. So if you feel like you're deficient in calcium, maybe magnesium, you're having issues with sleep, you maybe feel like you're just mineral depleted, maybe you're stressed. When we're stressed, the first mineral to become depleted is magnesium. That's our calming mineral, and that can interfere with our sleep. And even just helping with managing stress. So wheatgrass is loaded in minerals, but it's also high in chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is one of those nutrients we just don't get in our everyday diet. And so it's important to include some form of chlorophyll, which is wheatgrass and spirulina chlorella. Wheatgrass and spirulina chlorella will be loaded in chlorophyll, and therefore it's going to be detoxifying, cleansing, and really energizing. And so you can think of wheatgrass as just helping to maintain pH balance. It helps with acid reflux. It's extremely alkaline, so it's soothing on the gut. It can lower inflammation. So I'd say there's so many benefits to wheatgrass, but the big ones are minerals, cleansing, energizing, and lowering inflammation. Spirulina chlorella is also high in the chlorophyll that I mentioned, and it's a little bit easier for people to start with spirulina chlorella because it comes in a tablet form than sometimes the ice cube. They're both very easy to consume, but the spirulina chlorella comes in a tablet form, kind of like a multivitamin, and you can just swallow with water. And then the wheatgrass comes in ice cubes where you can drop a few ice cubes in a glass of water and you drink first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. So great question. And we have a lot of resources on our website. If you go to our shop page, you can watch how wheatgrass is prepared. You can see kind of the list of benefits that goes with it. But the big three superfoods that we talk about at On Target Living are wheatgrass, spirulina chlorella, and cod liver oil. So if you start to take all three of these foods, and we always say that for $5 or less a day, you can consume all three of these foods. It's not too expensive to eat healthy. We know it's too expensive to get sick. And when you're taking these specific superfoods, there's no reason to supplement or have to take any pills or powders or multivitamins. This has all of the nutrients you need from a nutrition standpoint. So a lot of our greens, like our wheatgrass or spirulina chlorella, will have good B vitamins. It'll be cleansing. Our cod liver oil will be high in omega-3s, so it's really great for brain health, heart health, hormonal health, which keep in mind you can't lose weight if your hormones aren't balanced. And then it's really great at lowering inflammation. So I just had someone reach out to me yesterday. She just recently had a baby and she's been carrying her baby. She also has been carrying a little bit more weight from having a baby, and she has all sorts of knee pain and joint pain. So I said, get on cod liver oil immediately. It's number one thing you can do to lower inflammation. It will lubricate the joints. And then take an Epsom salt bath. Epsom salt's loaded in calming magnesium, and it's really great at just easing sore muscles. So we find that if you're consuming these specific superfoods, there's really no reason to supplement, and therefore you can actually save money down the road. It will cost you less than $5 a day to take all these foods. What other questions? We're here to help you. We're here to guide you. We want you to really start to incorporate a lifestyle that's your own. So yes, we kind of gave you some rules to follow for this challenge, but in order for this whole lifestyle to be sustainable, you have to start making it your own. You're not doing this kind of lifestyle because we're telling you to, but you start to do it because you want to and because you like the way it makes you feel, and you start to see results. So stick with a lot of these habits that you've been forming. You can take the challenge at any time. You simply go to our challenge page on our website and you can sign up. You can always take the challenge, or you can continue to live like you're on the challenge. And for me, I think the 80-20 rule is a good way to kind of transition from that. Now, we also get questions about vitamin A. So with cod liver oil, sometimes people have a fear that they're consuming too much vitamin A. But because these are real foods, a lot of these superfoods that we recommend, they're real foods. Your body knows what to absorb and what to process. And they're also very cleansing, which helps the body to eliminate properly. So you don't have to worry about getting too much of one vitamin or one mineral. These are real foods, so the body really knows what to do with it. But cod liver oil, the benefits of cod liver oil, the reason that we always promote cod liver oil over regular fish oil is because it's extremely high in vitamin D. And we find that cod liver oil, it's closer to the source. It's just from the liver of the cod. And many fish oils have a mixture of fish. They have sardines and anchovies and aren't always from the purest sources. Now, I got another question that said, did anyone have any results they want to share? I think a lot of people want to hear what people have to share, maybe results that they got from just these 21 days. This person said they lost 5 pounds, they have greater energy, and they didn't know it was possible. And that's really the coolest thing, is what is possible? We know that 21 days is such a short time frame of our life, but imagine what it can do for us. So I'd love to hear anyone's thoughts about kind of what they saw along the challenge. Maybe they lost weight. We have most people lose a few pounds on the challenge just because they're eating so clean. So when you think about putting real ingredients in your body knows what to do with it. It can work a little better, it can run more efficiently, and we're actually able to kind of eliminate some of the things that we're consuming on a regular basis easier. So ingredients, upgrading the quality like we've been doing on the challenge, that's huge for weight loss. And I'm sure that a lot of people this new year are wanting to lose weight because we get that question a lot. How do I lose weight, right? And one of the two big tips I love to tell people about weight loss is if you can follow two rules when it comes to weight loss, this is going to be magical. And the first thing is giving yourself a 12 to 14 hour fast. And so this is an overnight fast. So basically you are eating dinner, say at 7 p.m., and you're giving your body time to cleanse, give your gut time to do what it needs to do, digest, before you're eating breakfast at 7 a.m. or even 9 a.m. Typically, I'll eat dinner around 7:30, and then I don't eat breakfast till close to 9. So I try to get my workout in the morning, but I'm giving my body time to cleanse. I'm not a big fan of promoting fasting during the day just because it's hard to sustain and it's hard on our energy levels. But if we can fast overnight, that's going to be huge for weight loss. That can help with better elimination. It can help with digestion. It can help with absorption. So trying maybe Monday through Friday or most days of the week to have that fast is really crucial for weight loss. Now, the other thing, and I mentioned this briefly, is if you can start to upgrade the quality of all of your ingredients. When I'm working with people on consults and they want to lose weight, the number one thing I tell them is whatever you're currently doing, don't give anything up, because we know that's not going to work. No one wants to give up the things that they love. Don't give anything up. You just make it better. And that comes down to upgrading and choosing better quality ingredients. So if you're buying peanut butter, we really should be looking for peanut butter that has one ingredient. Or maybe two. Maybe it has peanuts and sea salt. So simple things you can do. You can upgrade your peanut butter. You can upgrade your sports drink. So instead of doing like a processed colored sports drink, we could do coconut water. Coconut water has a ton of electrolytes. It's really hydrating. We can go from processed maple syrup to, real 100% maple syrup. We can go from maybe cow's milk to a plant-based milk. We can upgrade everything from our cereals to our breads to our cookies, and it all comes down to ingredients. So less is always going to be best, and if you can't read it, you shouldn't eat it. So if we're finding something that has 92 ingredients, chances are it's not going to be healthy for us. And the coolest thing is that there's so many healthy and delicious options on the market now. Now, people love, some of these staple foods like hot dogs. Well, if you were to look at the ingredient list of your typical hot dog, you wouldn't find any beef. A lot of these foods are just processed foods. So instead of giving up your hot dogs, you can search for a better hot dog with better ingredients. And that you can find with grass-fed beef or spices or herbs, and you can find it everywhere. So Meyer has these products. There's a lot of places that have these products. You don't have to search high and low. So if you can upgrade the quality of your ingredients, that's where the weight can start to take shape. Another question I had, or another maybe comment, this woman said her results, she was feeling stronger. She had way less joint pain, which is amazing. We hear that a lot. And then no more puffy eyes in the morning. She had energy that lasted all day. And she's feeling better in her clothes. That's fantastic. Way to go. And those are all great measurements. A lot of people want to just, measure the weight loss and measure the weight on the scale. But if we're feeling better, if our clothes are fitting better, if we have more energy, that's a total win. So sometimes we have to focus on other things than just the weight. The weight will happen. As we start to feel better, we're going to look better. This whole lifestyle is really magical, and it just starts with taking these small steps. Okay, we got another question about people seeing their doctor about certain blood tests. So people going to the doctor and getting blood tests. What kind of conversation should we have with our doctor about our blood test and to help us manage our health and measure our progress? This is a fantastic question because we are our own advocate. And I think sometimes we see the doctor and we're rushing, we don't have a lot of time, they don't have a lot of time with us, maybe we're put on medications because that's the quick fix. But if we take time to ask our doctor, is there a medication-free route? Can I be doing other things instead of getting on medication? They're going to love that. When you start taking ownership of your health, that is so important for everyone involved. So they know that they don't have a lot of time to educate you on how to eat or how to take time to move. But if you can start to be your own advocate and do some of the work up front, that's really powerful. So I'd always say, ask your doctor a better question. What can I do instead? Is there lifestyle things I can do instead of getting on medication? If you go to ontargetliving.com, under our resources tab, you'll see handouts. And under handouts, we have a handout called Know Your Numbers. This is a handout that you can take into the doctor's office and you can say, I want to know these tests. They're basic blood profiles. It's cholesterol and your glucose and a lot of the things that you would already be measuring, but there's a few extra things like homocysteine levels, which measures oxidation. It's an indicator of heart health. And then also highly sensitive C-reactive protein measures inflammation. So there's other tests that you can get done. Testosterone is a really good measurement because that measures how well you're aging, and it's important for not only men but also for women. So I love getting these tests just to kind of see where I stand. And we have the whole sheet of what numbers to get and what the numbers mean and what you should actually look for. We have it right here, but we also have it on our website. So take this into your doctor. They'll support you. This is your life and we all want to age well. So if you can say, these are the tests I want to measure. I want to know my big picture of health. A lot of people will see, that they have high cholesterol, but that really doesn't tell you anything. Cholesterol is healing for the body. So sometimes it's okay that we have high cholesterol. It's all about how our cholesterol is in balance. So how does our HDL cholesterol factor into our total cholesterol? If we have super high HDL cholesterol, we're probably going to have higher cholesterol, total cholesterol. So it's all about the balance, and we can help to guide you on some of these things. We'll do consultations. You can reach out to us anytime, but this handout's a nice way to see what your numbers should really be looking like. So great question. Now, personally, I guess for my results, I would say weight loss wasn't necessarily my goal, although I feel better in my clothes. And I think what I found a little bit, the results that I found was I felt stronger. So when I was going to the gym, I felt stronger, and I also felt like I had more stamina. Sometimes I'm just going through the motions at the gym and, cutting my workout short. And these 21 days, I felt just a little bit more focused. I had more stamina. I went in with a game plan. We have a really great training guide. You'll find that on our challenge page. We'll throw that on the screen, but it's basically a workout guide, and it can show you how to incorporate a training program that focuses on split routines. So one day you'll focus on chest and back strength, maybe you'll do some cardio. Another day you'll focus on more upper body, like arms and shoulders, and then another day you'll focus more on lower body and legs. So we have all these resources I'm talking about. Most of them can be found on the challenge page, which is your guide to living this lifestyle and building these habits. But we also have resources section on our website with even more resources. So we have a 3-month training guide, which is, again, on the challenge page. And this is a great way to map out your training. You can change up your sets, your reps, your intensity. So you don't always have to change up your exercises. We have a list of some exercises you can do, but you can just kind of change up your reps and your sets. So good things you can start to incorporate. Now, I think the podcast has a lot of really great resources because we basically have talked about every single topic you can imagine, and it's a good way to consume some of this information on the go. So again, I mentioned our On Target Living app, and that's a great way to take On Target Living on the go with you. And within the app, you'll also find our podcast. So there's a lot of good stuff on there. If you wanted to take this whole lifestyle a step further, we have a 21-step training program in the app called The System, and this is our flagship training. So it's all of this rest, eat, move information put together in a training system that you can just consume anywhere you are. You can consume it on your phone or your computer. You can listen to it from really anywhere. So check out our app. You can subscribe for free, or you can subscribe to some sort of plan and get exclusive content, even more resources. What other questions do you guys have? We only have 3 days left of the challenge, so we're on the home stretch. We hope that you guys have really started to see results and have fun with this lifestyle, but again, it's about making it your own. So we're here to guide you, but ideally, we want to help you make it your own. On our website, under our handouts, we have a sample food guide that kind of shows you what a typical day should look like, although we don't always prescribe meal plans to people because we want them to kind of find what they like, find what they don't like, and make this lifestyle their own, because it's going to look different for everyone. But think about just incorporating a lifestyle. So many people come the new year, they want a diet. They want to be told exactly what to do. But we know that long-term diets don't work. And I always ask people, have you ever wondered why there's so many diets on the market? It's because they don't work. There's always going to be a new diet on the market. And some of these diets aren't new, right? The keto diet is very similar to the Atkins diet. It's just introduced in a different way. So we know that the reason that many diets fail is because they fall short when it comes to following 2 rules that makes a program successful. Number 1 is whatever program you're following, it has to be enjoyable. You have to enjoy the entire process. And number 2, it has to be sustainable. So many people are following these diets that they can't enjoy, right? They're taking shots of apple cider vinegar, or they're juicing celery all day, and it's not enjoyable. No one wants to do that every single day. We always tell people, don't take a shot of apple cider vinegar, just eat an apple. It's the same exact thing. So sometimes we want these quick fixes. We want these extremes. We want to be told, drop butter in your coffee, do nothing else, all your issues will go away, and it just doesn't work that way. So if we can take time to build this lifestyle, it's always going to pick us back up, and it's going to be easier in the long run. Now, many people are going on these diets where they're giving up their carbs, and we have to ask ourselves, well, how sustainable is going without our carbs? Well, carbs are our body's preferred energy source. So long term, it's not going to be sustainable. So many diets out there, you have to ask yourself, is this enjoyable? Will I enjoy this process? And number 2, can I sustain it long term? And if you say no to one or both of those, then you know that it's not going to work. And so we're finding that it really is our lifestyle and incorporating these healthier habits that help us to not have to start or stop a new program. And one of my biggest problems when it comes to dieting, that it makes it really hard to have a social life. And that's a key element in our long-term happiness. So we find that when we're giving things up, when we're living to extreme, then it can interfere with our social life. And many diets are having you give up key nutrients. So think about, before you jump on a new diet or some sort of trendy product, just ask yourself, is this enjoyable? Is it sustainable? And many times, some of these supplements are just so expensive when real food will always be the answer. Now, I'm sure people have heard about the plant-based diet or plant-based burgers or some of these plant-based products. And we have to always ask ourselves, well, what's the source? Where are some of these items coming from? What are the ingredients? So sometimes these plant-based burgers, they contain over 20 different ingredients. They're made in a lab. Many of the ingredients are genetically modified. So we have to always go back to the source. Rather than eating something that's, not a real food, let's focus more on real and from the source and in its most natural state. So sometimes I think that this whole, plant-based movement is kind of like the new processed food, because many of these plant-based items are more processed. They have a long list of ingredients. Our body can't always recognize them. They can't absorb them. So always going closer to items in their natural state, nothing's off limits when you do that. You can have everything that you love. If you love chocolate, get chocolate from the source, which is raw cacao nibs. Cacao is the unprocessed form of dark chocolate. You can get it in nibs. You can get it in powder. You can really put it on anything. I love it in smoothies. I had it in my oatmeal this morning. So nothing's off limits when it's from the source. If you love burgers, make a burger with grass-fed beef or ground lamb, or bison is our favorite here at home. So don't have to reinvent the wheel. And I think it goes back to, what can I grab for dinner that's easy, that doesn't have to take me a lot of time in the kitchen? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just take all of your basics, your traditional meals like your spaghetti and your chili and your tacos and the things that are really easy for us to go to, and just make them better by making the ingredients better. You're getting better pastas. You're getting maybe organic pasta that has one ingredient. Or maybe you're trying like a lentil pasta that has just one ingredient, lentils. Maybe you're using organic ground turkey in your tacos. So simple things that you can do. You don't have to kind of develop a new recipe. Just have some things in your repertoire, and that will make it all easy. Okay, what other questions? We'll stay on for a few more minutes just to ask any more questions. Remember, this 80-20 rule is so powerful for helping you to transition into a lifestyle that you can enjoy, that you can maintain, and that allows you to plan ahead for special occasions. Now, the reason birthday cake is so special is because we only have it on special occasions. So when we are overindulging, that's where the guilt comes in. And we want to live a life where there's no guilt, right? If we want to indulge in something or make food an experience, we can plan ahead for that. So I always tell people, when it comes to the 20% where you can indulge a little bit, make it count. Don't waste it on something that's not worth it. So if you're in the airport, don't waste your 20% on a stale bagel at the airport when you could have, a delicious breakfast come Sunday morning with your best friends or your family. And so we need to be a little bit more mindful of how much and how often we indulge and plan ahead. Our team at On Target Living, we travel all the time. Doesn't mean that we have to leave our lifestyle behind. And so we have, in our cookbook, we have this oatmeal on the run recipe. And we also have a video on our website, but basically you're combining raw oats, cinnamon, raisins, walnuts, cacao nibs, and an almond milk. You soak it overnight in the fridge and you take it to go. It can go through security. If I'm traveling for a few days at a time, I will usually make a dried version of this. So just in a Ziploc bag, I'll combine all the dry ingredients. And then every coffee shop, like Starbucks, has a nut milk of some sort, coconut milk, almond milk. So I'll just grab that when I'm out. I'll add it to my oatmeal, and I have a delicious breakfast where I never have to feel like I'm wasting it on something that's not worth it. So just because we live a fast-paced, on-the-go lifestyle, we don't have to live our lifestyle leave it behind, and that's where these habits and small steps come in. We make this our own, and we build these daily rituals. But that 80-20 rule can allow us to find more balance when it comes to living this lifestyle. So thank you everyone for your questions. we're here to guide you. You can always visit our website, reach out to us, you can call us. For all you local people out there, we have an event next week. It is on Tuesday. It's called On Target Giving, and it's from 6 to 8 at our headquarters. So all the proceeds, it's $20 a ticket, all the proceeds go to the Greater Lansing Food Bank. We only have 10 slots left. We're going to sell out. We can only hold 40 people, so we only have 40 tickets to be sold. We have 10 spots left, and we'll be giving our signature keynote presentation. So if you really want to dive more into this lifestyle, I'd say sign up as soon as you can. You can go to our shop.ontargetliving.com page to sign up. You can call us. You can go to our website, but under our events page on our website, you'll see that event. On Target Giving, it's next Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. We only have a few slots left, but it's a great way to see this lifestyle kind of in action and start to build this foundation. So thank you all for joining us. You should be very proud whether you were 100% perfect on the challenge or you were just perfect for yourself or just tried to do the best you can. You should be very, very proud. This challenge looks different to everyone, but it was really designed to help you build these healthier habits and make rest, eat, move a part of your everyday. So as you transition, you can transition into the 80-20 rule. If you want to continue to do the challenge, go for it. It's always there for you. The resources are on our challenge page of our website. But we're wishing everyone a healthy and happy new year. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you soon. Bye.